New $2,000 Social Security checks going out today, Wednesday, July 9th, but only to a certain group of people. I'll let you know who's going to get that $2,000 Social Security check. Also, we got this new plan proposed to save Social Security. This is a brand new plan just introduced, bipartisan. I'm going to let you know the details of that, give you some other important updates as well. Before I dive into the main content, if you appreciate these Social Security updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Social Security updates. So it's official, Social Security will issue checks of up to $2,000 this Wednesday, July 9th across the country. Another headline here, Social Security is issuing checks for $2,000 on average today, Wednesday, July 9th. Find out who's getting a payment. So who's getting these checks? Well, these are the monthly checks, and today, Wednesday, July 9th, is for beneficiaries born 1st to the 10th, so first round of checks. $2,002 is the average payment, but if your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th, basically you'll get the same exact payment you got last month. Also, next payment for birthdays 11th to the 20th are going to be July 16th, and then the following Wednesday, July 23rd for birthdays, people born the 21st to the 31st. So those are the check dates going out. Let's get into this. New plan proposed to save Social Security. So a bipartisan pair of senators have floated a bold new solution to the insolvency crisis facing Social Security, which they say could save the program within a decade. So this is between Bill Cassidy, Republican, and Democrat Senator Tim Kaine announced a proposal to set up an alternative funding model for the safety net program, which would supplement the program's trust fund with a new diversified pool of investments. So why it matters. So the potential depletion of Social Security Trust Fund has long been an issue of concern on Capitol Hill. A recent report from Social Security Administration warned that the program continues to face significant financing issues and estimated that Old Age and Survivors Insurance Fund would only be able to cover 100% of total scheduled benefits until 2033. So insolvency would not mean that the program stops altogether, though future payments would become entirely reliant on what is called payroll taxes each year. This could fail to cover the entirety scheduled benefits and possibly could result in cuts or increased taxes being needed for the program. So we got Tim Kaine here on the left, Bob Cassidy on the right. So the two senators who have been in the past advocated for various reforms of the embattled Social Security program unveiled their new plan publicly on Tuesday. The pair said this proposal would preserve full benefits for Americans while aiming to address the program's critical funding shortfall. Their proposal centers on creating a new parallel investment fund for Social Security, invested in a blend of stocks, bonds, and other investments that generate a higher return to help keeping the program from running dry. The senators estimate that the fund would require an upfront federal investment of $1.5 trillion and propose that it would be given 75 years to grow. The Treasury would temporarily shoulder the burden of providing benefits to Social Security beneficiaries, but when the new fund's 75 years are up, it would pay the Treasury back and supplement payroll taxes to help the future gap. The Social Security Trust Fund holds surplus funds collected from payroll taxes and is currently required to invest in these non-marketable treasury bonds. However, as the two senators noted, payroll taxes themselves are insufficient to sustain the program, and these bonds have persistently yielded meager returns when compared to wider market and the Social Securities that would be incorporated in their fund. Treasury bonds of the type the Social Security Trust Fund currently invests in have grown by little over 100% since 2002, while the S&P 500 has risen some 600% over the same period. As the pair note, the growing number of Americans are concerned about the insolvency of Social Security. According to a May survey, 59% of non-retired Americans worry that the program won't be available to them by the time they retire. Personally, being in my 30s, I don't think Social Security is going to be around when I am ready to retire, so I'm not even counting on it. It seems like everyone just keeps passing the buck. So it seems like this is more of a not privatization, but just taking the money and investing it better, getting a better return, rather than 100% return since 2002, which is 23 years. Why not get a 600% return on the S&P 500, which is a group of 500 different company stocks that has just gone up a historical average of 10% per year over the past 90 years. So kind of does make sense. What Tim Kaine said is the trust has remained firmly in the black, with returns even exceeding expectations at some points, and with payments consistently remaining reliable on schedule. So everything is good at the moment on schedule. It seems that Martin O'Malley said, I think it was maybe 6 months ago, there's only 1 to 3 months before the Social Security was going to break down, or I forgot his words, but looks like it's still going. Also, what was said here is the program can be made more progressive by slightly reducing the benefit growth rates for higher income retirees, many of whom live longer and collect more from the program. In addition, increasing the number of working years used to calculate benefits would help reduce the program's shortfall while also improving incentives to work at older ages. So what are your thoughts here? Do you agree with this plan? Disagree? This seems like it may be a good idea. This could keep the program from going under, but what some people are saying is that what Bill Cassidy and Tim Kaine said is there is a nationwide appetite to implement a bipartisan common sense plan like ours. What also said about this is while this proposal makes efforts to address the current financial shortfall by infusing the system with an additional investment fund that is invested in stocks, bonds, and other investments, it does so in a way that does not tackle the structural imbalances in the program and introduces new risks to the funding structure. Yeah, I don't know what the risks are. I don't even know what the structural imbalances are. I guess people definitely need to be paid more. That's for sure. The lower income people need to be paid more in Social Security. The higher income people need to be paid less in Social Security. Let me know your thoughts on that. Basically, what happens next? So Tim Cassidy and Kaine have not yet formally submitted their plan for congressional consideration. The pair said that waiting until Social Security Trust Fund nears insolvency could result in difficult and preventable consequences. So at the moment, this is just a proposal. They're just putting it out there publicly. There has been no bill submitted or anything like that. So I think it's a good idea. Let me know your thoughts on that. Do you agree? And that is all the news that I have for today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Belle's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Belle. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you one thing that is so funny about me. I'm back! So, get to something else. When you feel really a little bit down, you should call a friend or a family member because then you could feel more better. Like I have this here. That's all I want to speak to. Bye!
If you haven't heard what O'Malley recently said, Martin O'Malley, the former SSA commissioner, about Social Security, Trump's email to 70 million Social Security recipients, you're going to want to click this video over here. Got some really interesting video footage there, so click that video now, and I'll see you in that video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.